And the jump is taken by Sarah van der Merwe. Willie Hepburn out-accelerates Ben Morgenrood. And Willie is on a roll. He's wanting to get in the front this time. He's got to stay close into the car. That V8, that big Chev motor, 5.7 litre. Morgenrood takes him inside. No, he doesn't. If he tips that car, he's going to come off second best. Oh, it's a heavy one. He didn't get a tip there. We didn't see that. But Willie has certainly got into the outfield in a big way. Has lost places. Maybe Morgenrood just decided, I'll give him a nudge just to see how it's all going to happen. And here we go. Morgenrood following Sorrel. Then it's Tony Viana. And Johan Coetzee has never revved that Skyline, that Gearmax Skyline, higher than he's revving it right now. Those Nissan motors have never been revved high. He's driving it so hard. There's Willie now back into fifth spot as we come down the road, and Morgenrood doesn't want to get too close. He could overheat the Maz as they come down. Willie's moved up into fourth position. There he comes in the big Sabet Opel behind Tony Viana, and he's going to power it round here in a big way. He'll get it sideways. He wants past Viana, and he's got the acceleration to do it. Look at that. Look at him going there. That's the difference between an A and a B class car. 5.7 litres of American V8 horsepower just put onto the ground, and he gets past Tony Viana, who's got a nice comfortable lead at the moment over Johan Coetzee. 16 is Viana from the Free State, now moving up into the Transvaal, setting up his workshop with BMW. Gary Dunkley's got Larry Wolford on his tail. The two Sabatiers are right in there. We're in with Johan Coetzee, and this is how hard they're trying. There's the man he wants to catch ahead of him. That's Tony Viana lying in fourth position. Coetzee at the moment is fifth as he powers that 5-speed Skyline along. Nice onboard camera shots there. There's a helicopter up above them picking up these shots and sending them back to the studio as they come into Yellow Pages. Heavy onto the brakes, down through the box. Nice wide, very late entry into the corner as he works that car, oversteers a wee bit at the back as he feeds the power on. And that's the man he wants to beat in front. There's Tony Viana in the BMW. Was faster in practice as they come through the second S's. Morgenrood's keeping up the pressure. Morgenrood's got to could overheat that motor car if he stays there too close to the back of Sarel van der Merwe. Excuse me, Sarel van der Merwe's car. He's having a look-see. So Sarel van der Merwe certainly got competition.
Wel, dit gaan 'n taktiese... Wow, en daar is rook uit die motor van Ben Morgenrood. Net soos wat jy gepraat het, Roger. As hy te hard probeer, dan gaan hy daar die enjin van hom vasbrand. Lyk toch nie so nie. Miskien was dit net 'n bietjie hard op die remme. Miskien was dit net die rook van die bande soos dit daar op die remme geklim het, en Ben is weer terug. So Ben Morgenrood het Sarel van der Merwe in sy versiere. Het gaan 'n taktiese stryd wees. Dit lyk tog of daar 'n bietjie van die bakwerk vashak aan teen die bande skuur. En dit is moontlik dat dit in daardie insident gebeur het met Willie Hepburn. As 'n klomp van die brandstof lyk dit my wat besig is om uit te val uit die motor van Sarel van der Merwe. Ben probeer aan die binnekant van Budget deurkom. 8 rondes wat oorbly. Van der Merwe is reeds besig om 'n bietjie verder weg te trek. En ek dink dit gaan 'n taktiese stryd wees hierdie. Dit gaan afhang soos wat Ben vroeër gesê het in daardie onderhoud van die bande en of hulle greep gaan behou of nie. Daardie Mazda Motorsport, Mazda 323 van Ben is natuurlik baie vinniger deur die draaie. Is 'n ligter motor en hy het nie die perdekrag nodig om vinnig deur die draai te kom nie. En dit lyk net of dit op die regte gedeelte is waar Van der Merwe die voordeel het bo Ben Morgenrood. Maar Morgenrood wat 'n bietjie van 'n weierlyn neem daar deur die draai, terug in die motor saam met Johan Coetzee. Dit is deur een van die tweede S'e, die tweede van die S'e, en dis Tony Viana se BMW 535 wat hy in sy versier het. Onder remming kom hy heel wat nader en jy kan sien dat hy baie hard werk agter die stuur van daardie motor. Dit lyk miskien redelik maklik van buite af, maar kan ek vir die versekering gee dat binne in daardie motor werk jy baie hard. Daar is baie breë bande wat jy moet teen stoei deur die draaie. Die kragte wat op die motor inwerk droom jou elke keer na die verkeerde kant toe uit, en jy moet presies jou motor op die regte plek hê, op die regte lyn hê en baie mooi gebalanseerd deur die draaie om glad daar deur te kom. Johan Coetzee het vir Tony Viana net voor hom. En Viana wat op die regte gedeelte is tog lyk om hy wegtrek van hom af. Willie Hepburn op die oomblik in die derde plek kom by ons verby. En ons volg net 'n bietjie vir Johan Coetzee soos wat hy hier deur Nashua gaan. En dit lyk tog as hy deur die draaie tog nader kom aan Tony Viana. Nou is hy baie naby aan Viana. Dis die einde van die 4de ronde. En Johan Coetzee is naby aan Viana met Gary Dunkley kort op sake en Larry Wolford is kort op Gary Dunkley sake. Verder terug is dit Dave Repsol wat in klas C voorloop in sy Toyota Conquest, maar ons bly nog 'n rukkie hier by Johan Coetzee, want dit is altyd interessant om die wedren ook te volg uit die oogpunt van die renjaer self. Hy is baie naby aan Viana. Dinge kan begin verander. Johan Coetzee wat ons net in aksie gesien het in daardie goudstormloopwedren. Nou agter die stuur van sy Gearmax Nissan Skyline en hy is baie naby aan Tony Viana en ek dink Viana het 'n probleem. Hy het definitief 'n probleem want hy sal nie sommer so vinnig so stadiger beweeg nie en Coetzee skuif in. Coetzee skuif in die 4de posisie. Is hy eerste in Wesbank draai? Ja, hy is. Ja, hy is baie daai motor se ster wil so bietjie begin uitkom daar deur Wesbank draai, maar hy is by Tony Viana verby. Ek het 'n idee dat Tony Viana 'n probleem het.
Well, his problems, Henrik, are certainly Tony Viana has got problems and Johan Coetzee. And Coetzee now has got to the front there of the B class. He's really given that car a workup. He was 2 seconds behind. And look who's coming into the picture too. The Sabat Porsche career of Gary Dunkley. Gary won here this year as well. And also in Class A, incidentally, Willie Hepburn's caught up 2 seconds to the tail of Ben Morgan, who's just 2 seconds, just over 2 seconds behind him in Class A. But here they come. This is the Class B. This is for cars up to 3.6 litre. Coetzee's is a 3-litre Nissan. Then we've got a 3.5-litre BMW, a 3.3-litre Porsche, and we've got a 3-litre Nissan Skyline. But you don't see more of these Skylines in competition. They've done great things there for Nissan. Have these Skylines, we need a Nissan or two up in Class A. But it's Tony Viana hanging in there. This could be tyre problems that he's got. As Johan Coetzee comes into yellow pages. Gives that car a workout, certainly. You can see him working at that wheel. You can just catch a glimpse of his rev count. You just see right up into the red as he goes through there. This is the 3 times Wesbank champion. He won it last year. He's the reigning champion at the moment. Is Johan Coetzee. He's a Springbok hot rodder, so he knows a thing or two about motor racing. Keeping a nice defensive line up the middle of the road. He goes to the outside. It's going to be late in this corner, keeping Viana out. He'll be on his tail. And here are the leaders. There's Willie Hepburn coming into view. He's lost a bit of ground this time. Morgenrud is hanging in there. He's in the new Mazda Motorsport colours. Of course, Mazda thrilled with their successes at Le Mans, beating the Jags and the Mercs and the Porsches. And Ben is still in there and trying. Just behind him, there's a whole dice going on. Stephen Kyalami comes through, and we've got Gary Swemmer in there as well. And Sarah van der Merwe is starting to get away, still trying very hard. And Morgenrud locking a wheel there. We've got the Goodyear tired Ford, Sassel Ford Sapphire. We've got the Mazda 323 on Dunlop rubber. Coming around, looks like Ray Wolford, or is that the lead of the class? Richard Sorensen going very well. He's done a very fine job this year, also with lap records into the bargain. No, that wasn't Sorensen coming up. He's ahead of them. Right, we've finished 5 laps. We just passed the halfway mark. We're on lap 6. Morgenrud, the challenge is starting to fade, maybe just cooling the tyres as he comes up. And Ray Wolford, he's the class champion at the moment. And Morgenrud just could be cooling things, but Sorrell's going to go for a great one. This is the Graham Duxbury motor car. That incident you saw on that tape a little bit earlier actually wrote off the front of the car, which is being straightened. But Sorrell, in the meantime, went to America for 10 days to have a look-see at some of the machinery they've got in America that could be suitable for Wesbank modified racing. Incidentally, the news is that Delta are bringing out a V6 turbo. That'll be out late in the year in a Calibra body. Toyota's looking at coming to Wesbank modified. And we also, this talk there of Nissan getting into this thing. So things are changing. We're going to have more cars coming to this class. And also one of the latest model Audis have come into the country. One of the Audis actually that I believe were banned from American racing, very fast indeed. And they're on display in this country at the moment. So a lot of the manufacturers, every manufacturing country is looking very seriously at Wesbank modified racing. This is not a national championship race. It's not for South African championship point. It's for a very well prize money Yellow Pages challenge. And here comes the 3rd, 4th and 5th men. That's Steve Kyalami from Velcom, the Mason Motors little Nissan. He comes through ahead of Ray Wolford. And Viana's not letting Coetzee go. And the challenge is coming now from Gary Dunkley. You can just see the Sabat name coming out from the side of the motor car. And Tony Viana has got problems coming up with Gary Dunkley. Here's the lead in Class B, one of them as he brakes hard down through 2 gears. And really flies there through Yellow Pages. On his tail he's got Tony Viana. Just behind him he's got Gary Dunkley.
En hy is baie deeglik bewus daarvan. Sarah van der Merwe is deeglik bewus daarvan dat Ben Morgenrud nie te ver terug is van hom af nie. Daar is die gaping. En het lyk my dis so 3-4 sekondes. En ek dink van der Merwe het hierdie wedren in die sakkie. Kom op vir ronde nommer 7. Mens moenie voorspellings waag in motorwedrenne nie. Maar Van der Merwe jaag hier 'n absolute perfekte wedren. En dit lyk nie of Morgenrood enige antwoord het daarop nie. Net voor hulle is dit motor nommer 50. Dit is die distance stanza van Johan van Rensburg. En ek dink die interessantheid gaan wees in klas B, die stryd tussen Johan Kutsie, Tony Viana en Gary Dunkerley. Jy sien 'n meester in aksie, deur geel bladsye vir die 8ste keer. Dave Repsold wat 'n nuwe rekord opstel in klas C. 1 minuut 37,7 sekondes. 'n Nuwe ronde rekord vir Dave Repsold. En Van der Merwe gaan stadiger. Dus het Van der Merwe 'n probleem. Sarel van der Merwe beweeg al stadiger. Daar kom Ben Morgan. Sarel van der Merwe het 'n probleem. Drama aan die voorpunt van hierdie wedren. Ons het gesê ons moenie voorspellings waag nie. En weer eens word dit bewaarheid. Ben Morgenrood wat by Sarel van der Merwe verbykom, hy het 'n probleem in daardie motor. Hy is uit, hy gaan nie die wedren voltooi nie. En Ben Morgenrood kan sy geluk nie glo nie. Tweede is dit nou Willie Hepburn. In die derde plek al geel skuif Johan Kutsie in. Is hy nog voor Willie, is hy nog voor Tony Viana is. Dis 'n tragedie vir die voorspan hierdie. Dis 'n tragedie vir die voorspan. Sarel van der Merwe wat met meganiese probleme sukkel, klas D ook 'n nuwe baanrekord agter die naam van Richard Sorensen. Daar is Willie Hepburn in die Seibat Opel rekord. En hy is glad nie ver agter Ben Morgenrood nie. Ben Morgenrood sal weet dat Willie Hepburn kort op sy hakke is en hier kan dinge nog aansienlik verander aan die voorpunt van hierdie wedren. Ben Morgenrood wat 'n baie goeie dag het tot dusver met 2 rondes wat oorbly en gaan hy die wedren kan wen, Roger?
I think Willie Hepburn is in a very good position now to challenge Ben Morgenrood. Willie tastes a win there and he's getting close all the time. It was at 3 seconds at one stage. It's moved right up. Of course, he went wide at Yellow Pages in the first lap of this race, and he's certainly in a challenging position as he comes past George Bezuidenhout, now lying third in the little C-class Nissan. George is the class champion in this class, and Willie Hepburn tastes the win. There's no doubt he tastes blood there. Oh, and he gets it all sideways as he comes into Wesbank. And he's getting on his tail now. Well, you can see it. You don't have to time them in seconds. Willie Hepburn's got the power. He's on Goodyear tyres. The Dunlop tyres ahead on the Maz. There's been a bit of a tyre war this year. Avens have been in the picture as well. And Willie Hepburn, he's the only Class A winner this year, or Class A competitor, not to have won a race. And this could be it. This could be it. We had so many wins. None of them have had hat-tricks of wins. Here comes Dave Repsol and Keith Carr just behind him in the Helen Autobody car. Willie's the new leader. He pushed his way through. How's that for a traffic jam and solving problems? Well, Willie Hepburn's in the front. We've got a new leader. We've had 3 leaders in this race so far, and Willie Hepburn is going for a great win this year. Told me in the pits earlier today that he thinks he could do it. The car feels good, the tyres feel good, and Ben Morgenrood, I think, has got possibly overheating tyres as he comes past Repsol. That's the C-Class leader, that beautiful little Toyota, hanging onto him as they go through there. That was the Pink Panther. Sportingly gets out of their way, but Morgenrood's not finished yet. This is last lap now, and Willie Hepburn's on his way to a great win. On his way to a great win as Morgenrood dodges the traffic. Here comes some of the tourists going around here now. Willie wants past them quickly. That little escort there is never been passed so quickly, but Morgenrood hasn't given up. Willie's got to take a defensive line on the inside to hold that line. Morgenrood will try for a tight line on the inside as Willie goes wide and starts to get power onto the ground, and Morgenrood's fighting for that win. Morgenrood also wants that win, and this is going to be a neck-and-neck finish. Hepburn's got the acceleration. That big 5.7 litre V8 Opel has certainly got the clock. When he puts foot, it just shivers with power and rockets down the road. But the triple rotor Mazda, built in Randfontein by Ben Morgan, who is challenging him all the way. Is Willie going to win his first Wesbank modified race this year? We're going to see in about 2 corners time as he holds that inside line. He had to fight back to this position. Sorrel, unfortunately, has gone out. We don't know what the problem with the car was. As he comes round, it's going to be Willie. He's got the acceleration to come to the line. All he needs to put foot there. It's going to be all power. It'll be about 3-4 car lengths. And Morgan takes the back of Hepburn's car out. As he comes to the line, he bumped into the back of him. Half the bodywork went off. And Willie Hepburn's not happy about that. But the power, the sheer power. Here's Repsol coming to win Class C. And then Keith Carr just behind in the Helen Autobody. City Golf is next. Very good driving there. And then George Bezuidenhout, he comes up the road just behind. We look for Class B. Class B's is Johan Kutsi in Class B. There's the, here we go, come now. Corner on his tail. He's got Tony Viana and he's got Gary Dunkley and Larry Wolford. The two save at the one there. The BM not in sight. Here comes Larry Wolford to come home third. Save at Porsche of Gary Dunkley second. Larry Wolford comes through him third, and there's the BMW. So he must have had some sort of a problem to Tony Viana.
The gearbox expired. His piece actually came out of it about 4 laps to go. And then I just tried to nurse it in, and it got worse and worse, and I think there's nothing left at the moment, as you could hear.
Absolutely, you really crawled over the line.
Well, there's no driver. We just actually freewheeled across the line.
At the start of the race, you got away nicely, seemed to be holding position.
The car was perfect at the beginning.
So you're really happy with the car?
Yeah.
And to challenge the Audis?
I think we're getting closer, yeah.
Well, a smile from Cyril van der Merwe. You don't often see that. Right, back to our commentators.
What I love about... Right, so great win there. First win of the year from Willie Hepburn in the Save at Opel. That's a real great win. He'll be so bucked with that one. And then Ben Morganwood on his tail, bumping and barging. He got into the back of him on the way to the line. There's bits and pieces of Willie's car lying all over.